Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to News Dose. And it was a very strange weekend because a major Xbox rumor caused a lot of discussion online and a lot of controversy around Xbox consoles. The big question going around right now is just how committed are they actually to their Xbox console specifically? And the reason this is even being asked is because there is a lot of smoke right now that they could possibly be exploring the idea of porting some of their back catalog games, back catalog exclusives to Nintendo and maybe even possibly to PlayStation. Now, does this really matter in the grand scheme of things? And is any of this even true in the first place? Because all of these are just rumors right now. But we are going to dive into all of those questions today. And then also another high-profile PlayStation 5 exclusive is heading to PC. Like I said, it's been a strange start to the week, really a strange start to the year. There's just a lot of discussion about these platform holders, being PlayStation and Xbox, putting their games on other platforms. However, let's go and start today off with a fun rumor, one that I would love to be true, and that is a Spyro 4 announcement. Now, I don't think that this is some huge secret that Activision has teased that they would like to make a new Spyro game. Many people even believe that it's already in development, possibly over at Toys for Bob, and that belief has only increased over the weekend because the official Spyro account posted this up over on Twitter. It simply says, 2024 motto, you gotta believe. Now, as you'd expect reading that, the comments are filled with fans hopeful that this is their way of teasing a soonish Spyro 4 announcement. Many fans also pointed out that the Platinum Trophy for Spyro 4 is party like it's 2024, and then on top of that, it's even the Year of the Dragon this year. So if this does turn out to be true, it kind of sounds like that they had internal plans for a 2024 release all along. Now, hypothetically, if they are preparing for an announcement, they could announce a new Spyro as early as the Xbox Direct, which is rumored for later this month. Technically, it is a first-party Xbox game now, as hard as that is to believe. Or option 2, which I actually think is a little bit more likely in this case, they could hold out until that typical June showcase. Either which way, nothing's confirmed just yet, but let me know what you all think about this. Do you think that they're teasing an announcement here, or do you think that this is just a big nothing burger? For me personally, and I'm probably letting my emotions get the best of me here, but I'm going to hold hope that this one is true. I do think that there are reasons to believe that it possibly is, including what we just talked about, but not just that, but because they have specifically teased Spyro 4 in the past. Next up, let's go and talk about Hogwarts Legacy, because there's been some debate on what was the best-selling game for 2023. Was it Hogwarts Legacy or was it Zelda Tears of the Kingdom? Those are the two games that consistently get brought up in this topic, and well, according to the Warner Brothers president, he just confirmed that Hogwarts Legacy sold 22 million units in 2023, 2 million alone in December, and according to him, this quote-unquote made it the best-selling game of the year in the entire industry worldwide. Worldwide is the key word there, and this is quite impressive when you consider that this is not another sequel. And the competition, it's not like it was weak last year. There was a lot of big and great games that came out in 2023. So to see it come away as the best-selling game, beating out games like Zelda and Call of Duty, that is no easy feat, and I think it just kind of goes to show you the power of the Harry Potter franchise. It's also kind of amusing in the sense there was this self-proclaimed boycott online. Kind of reminds me a little bit of that Pokemon boycott a few years back. It doesn't really seem like these are working out all that well, but nonetheless, big congrats to Avalanche Studios on all of their success, and really to just the Harry Potter community in general. This pretty much all but ensures that Harry Potter will have a major future in gaming. Okay, so let's go talk about this Xbox situation. This has absolutely blown up in the last few days, and I think it's somewhat of a nuanced topic. There's a lot of moving parts to this, and what all this could possibly mean for the future. And of course, I'm talking about the rumors that Xbox is bringing one of their critically acclaimed games to other consoles in 2024, meaning the PlayStation and Nintendo. Now, this originally came from Nate the Hate on his podcast, where he claimed that he had heard that Xbox will be dabbling with releasing one of their games on a competitor platform that was in the Game of the Year discussions in the year that it released. Now, he didn't say exactly which game he was talking about, or really even which platform or platforms, but this did spark a major discussion online, and since then, more rumors have since come out that's claimed that Xbox did explore the idea of porting Hi-Fi Rush and Sea of Thieves to competitor consoles. We've now heard Jez Corden talk about this, Jeff Grubb, who's the one that heard about Sea of Thieves, and then a Resetter insider as well. That's the one that heard about Hi-Fi Rush. So there, at the very least, does appear to be some smoke behind this, and this has, yes, sparked a pretty massive discussion online. How committed is Xbox to their consoles, and are they considering going third party? Well, I think for the second part of that question is a flat-out no. Even with all the rumors going around, if this does turn out to be true, it's been pretty consistent in the sense that Xbox is still not going third party. I don't think that this is going to be the death of Xbox consoles, as some people are trying to make it out to be. Now, they might port a game or two from their back catalog, but they fully intend on releasing future exclusives for Xbox consoles. Don't expect games like Forza, Halo, Gears, Hellblade 2, Starfield, Fable, etc. on Nintendo or PlayStation consoles. Xbox will still have plenty of exclusives planned for the future, and I don't foresee that changing anytime soon. In fact, one of the things that's been pointed out is that this could maybe possibly be a bait and switch strategy. Nate the Hate is actually the one that brought this up himself, but let's just go and hypothetically say that Hi-Fi Rush gets ported over to the Nintendo Switch successor. Well, you might ask, why would they do that? Well, the reasoning behind a decision like that could actually be to get more people interested in Hi-Fi Rush before releasing an eventual sequel, which will be exclusive to Xbox. That could actually attract more people to their ecosystem in the long term, which I think that does make some sense from a business perspective. At the same time, though, I also understand the frustration from some of the Xbox community. Now, I've seen the Xbox community kind of be split in this entire thing, but for some fans out there, they view this as almost Xbox kind of turning their back on long-term fans who's been invested in the platform for years. A lot of people do buy into platforms because the promise of exclusive titles, and that's ultimately what a console's identity becomes. The games that can't be played on other platforms. It's a major selling point for PlayStation, it's a major selling point for Nintendo, and Xbox fans want that to be a major selling point for Xbox as well. So anytime you take an exclusive away, even if it's not a huge, massive AAA game, it's still in a way taking a part of their identity away. So the argument here is that even if porting select exclusives is a rare occurrence, this is still kind of like opening Pandora's box. Where does it end? If they do something like this, that also brings the unnecessary questions regarding their other exclusives. Will those eventually become multi-platform as well? So, in that way, it's kind of a messy situation. And in fact, the ex-boss himself, Phil Spencer, has talked about this very specific topic in the past. This is what he said. I don't really love the idea that for every one of our games, there becomes this little rumor on is it going to end up on the Switch or not. I feel we should set a better expectation with our fans than that. He's also gone on the record to say that it doesn't feel sustainable to consider Xbox games on a case-by-case basis for Switch. In order to really support it, I would want a full Xbox ecosystem somewhere, and that probably means things like Live and Game Pass and stuff. So you hear something like that. You hear that straight from the ex-boss himself, and unless things have changed since then, it does sound like he wants Xbox's games to stay exclusive to what they consider the Xbox ecosystem, places where Xbox Game Pass is available. And I highly doubt that Nintendo or PlayStation is going to add Game Pass anytime soon, so that's actually where I'm really skeptical of this rumor. But hypothetically, if it does happen, that's where you have to go back to the question, why do this now? Xbox is just now getting into the groove of things with some momentum behind them. They acquired all of these different studios, so they should have an endless lineup of exclusives to attract consumers to their ecosystem. They have a real opportunity ahead of them to make a name for themselves in the coming years with all of these different popular franchises under their belt now. So why now? So why would you want to give away one of those reasons to jump into the Xbox ecosystem? That's what people are currently asking, and that's why I think that this is such a nuanced topic. Like, I get both perspectives here. On one side, you can kind of say that it's just select games that may have already reached their peak impact for the Xbox brand, and by porting them, it ultimately could promise them an even better future. Something like Hi-Fi Rush, which might have an exclusive sequel in development, or maybe even something like Sea of Thieves, which could heavily benefit from a bigger community as it is a live service game. So you can see some of those benefits. But on the other side of things, You can also say that this is a very mixed message that they're sending to their hardcore fan base. And with that, they might really hurt the trust of those fans, because you have somebody like Phil Spencer, and he tells his fans that they bought Bethesda for exclusive titles. But then here you have Hi-Fi Rush, a Bethesda-published game, and one of the current rumors going around right now is that it's being considered for a multi-platform port. So it's almost like they're talking out of both sides of their mouth, at least according to some of the rumors that are going around. That is kind of the thing here, though, isn't it? At the end of the day, for the time being, this is just a rumor. People are kind of freaking out about all of this, but nothing has been confirmed yet. For all we know, this rumor could amount to nothing. We've seen that happen before in the past, or maybe Nate might be referring to Psychonauts 2, which is already available on PlayStation because that game was in development pre-acquisition. Bringing that over to Nintendo would actually make a lot of sense. Either which way, though, I will say this. It definitely sounds like they may have at least considered porting some of their back catalog games. Again, there's a lot of smoke that supports this rumor, but that doesn't necessarily mean that it will actually happen. They could have canceled those plans. They might be seeing some of the online reactions right now and just kind of back off of it. I mean, who knows what's going to happen? Though it is a little suspicious that they have remained silent about this very, very loud topic up to this point. Could that be a sign? Who knows? But ultimately, we do need to kind of see how this plays out and see if it's true or not, and if so, what game it is, and how much of an impact that will have on Xbox consoles. There's a lot of things that goes into this, but let me know what you all think about all of this. Do you think porting select smaller games is a smart decision or not? Again, I can kind of see both sides of the argument here, but I will leave by saying this. I feel like gaming is changing a lot more than what some people might realize. Like, it's honestly a scary thing when you start to think about this, but if you look at the industry right now, there are some question marks. And I'm not just talking about Xbox either. I mean, if you look at PlayStation, they have a much more successful console in terms of units sold. But we've also recently discovered that their business model isn't necessarily perfect either, and it's also why they're exploring the idea of expanding beyond just their consoles. PC is becoming a more important part of their strategy, and that's crazy to think about because that was unimaginable just 5 or so years ago. So where will console gaming be 10 years from now, and how different will it be compared to what we have currently? I think that that's an uncomfortable topic to talk about, but it feels like those discussions are currently happening behind the scenes. I mean, I guess we'll just kind of see how all this plays out, but we'll see what happens this year with Xbox and whether or not any of these rumors turns out to be true. Speaking of that, though, that does actually take us right into our next topic. Horizon Forbidden West is the next PlayStation 5 exclusive confirmed for PC. Now, we don't have an exact release date just yet, but it is expected to release in early 2024. They showcased it using DLSS 3, DLAA for AI-enhanced image quality, and NVIDIA Reflex for low latency. This is 2 years after the original PlayStation 5 release, which seems to be what they're shooting for currently. Seems like most of their exclusives stay on PlayStation 5 for right around 2 years before an eventual PC release. I think that that's actually a pretty solid strategy, all things considered. It gives their hardcore fan base plenty of reason to buy into their console, and after, 2 years, most people who have a PlayStation 5 that wants to play those games have likely already done so. So this is a good way for them to kind of double dip on that PC platform, though I do think that they still need to improve this strategy a little bit more. The two things that I've kind of seen them struggle with in terms of PC is their launch price points, and also just their marketing. PC fans haven't exactly been thrilled about the high asking price at launch because they are older ports, but the big thing for me is the marketing for some of their games have been fairly weak. Now, hopefully that won't be the case for Horizon Forbidden West, because I genuinely do believe that this is a good game, and its visuals have a real opportunity to absolutely show out on PC. This could be a showcase game for PC fans, and I think this is going to be a really, really good pairing. I think by this point, though, the next PlayStation PC port to maybe kind of look out for is God of War Ragnarok. If they do stick with this 2-year staggered release, Ragnarok could get an announcement, maybe possibly actually later this year. Anyways, though, that's it for this episode. These platform holders are changing quite a bit right now, but let me know what you all think about this in the comments below. Do you like these changes or not? But till next time, peace out.